Hello, and thank you for joining us for this lesson on Workbooks CRM. Make sure you check out our free live training webinar class schedule at www.lucidswitch.com/webinar. Also, follow us on Twitter and Facebook for updates on workbooks, CRM best practices, and new video tutorials.
Hello and welcome again to the Lucid Switch Workbook CRM video training tutorial series. This video is going to show you how to create a form layout rule. Before we go into it, I'm going to explain what a form layout rule is. Basically, what we do is we create a rule that has a specific criteria that will allow us to change the fields and or sections that are going to be in a layout. In this example, we're going to keep it pretty simple, and we're going to use the person record to demonstrate what this exactly is. Here we've got the new person layout, so we can see that this is the standard layout that we've been working with for these video tutorials. I'm going to scroll down and look at some of the sections that I've created. We have driver info and secretary info. Now typically the layout changes are going to be a little bit more dramatic than what we're going to show here, but I just want to get to the point. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a layout that is going to only show driver info if the contact type is driver, or only shows secretary info if the contact type is secretary. So first I'm going to create a new person. I'm going to call that person driver person, and I'm going to take the contact type and I'm going to put that person into driver. And then we're going to see here that we've got driver info and secretary info because we haven't actually created the form layout yet for the driver. So nothing would happen if I hit saved, it would remain the same. And where this comes in handy is if you have different types of businesses, or in this case it's different types of people that we want to only see specific information depending on what kind of person that is. In this case, the first layout that we're going to create is going to be a driver layout, so we wouldn't need to know what the secretary info is because we don't actually, this person is not going to be a secretary, they're just going to be a driver. So I just created a field called insurance number and driver license number, so we'd only need to have that information. So in order to create the layout rules, I have to create a new layout, and I'm going to do that in the person record type. So I'm going to click on customize person, a shortcut that I've created, and that's going to open up the customize person window here. I'm going to click on form layouts, and I've got the default person layout, so that was the first layout that I created. I click on that to open it up, and that's going to pull up my default person layout form. Here I can see that I've got several different tabs. I'm going to click on the, first I'm going to copy the form layout. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to copy the exact form that I've already created. Once I've done that, I'm actually going to close out of the original one. I'm going to discard the changes because I don't need to worry about that. And now I've got this default person layout 1, and I'm actually going to just change this to driver person layout because that's going to indicate that this is the driver person layout. So I'm also going to click on published, and then I'm going to click save. Now this is not actually going to do anything because I didn't create any rules yet, so this layout would basically be the same thing as the other one, the default person layout. I'm going to click on layout rules, and now I'm going to create, we can see here that all these people that are in here are going to be, they're going to view this layout if I was to open them up, and that's because I haven't created any rules yet. So now I'm going to add in a filter, and I'm going to say the contact type equals driver. Oops. So I just go to the contact type, and I'm going to say I can use any of these criteria operator fields. I'm just going to say equals. I'm going to say driver. And if I do use the equals field, I have to make sure that it's exact. So I'm just going to go back into this person here, and I see that the contact type is driver, so that does match. If I was to put contains, I could say DRI or something like that. But I'm just going to keep it equals for now. And then I'm going to hit refresh, and we're going to see that there's going to be nothing there because I actually don't have a contact that is a driver. And so if I click save here, now I'm going to see that this is going to be driver. Nothing here has changed in the layout. You see here we still have both sections available. And now I'm going to change the layout itself. So now I'm actually just going to go to sections, and I'm going to take the secretary section, and so that's going to be secretary info here. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to uncheck show and hit save and close, and I'm going to hit save. And now when I go to the layout rules, I'm going to see that driver person is going to be the only record that I have that has that specific layout. So I'm going to go back to my driver person, and I'm going to test it out. I'm going to hit save, and now the secretary info is going to disappear. Okay. And as you can see that it didn't actually disappear. So what I did was I went back into the default person layout form for people, and I'm looking at the layout rules here, and I can see that the driver person is actually still in this one. So because it actually meets the criteria for this one, but also for this original layout, I actually have to create another filter here, which I forgot about that. And I'm just going to go into contact type, and we have, then I'm going to say does not contain driver. I'm going to hit refresh here, and then now you see that the driver person is gone. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to do a quick search for my driver person, and when I pull this record up now, this time it should actually show up as a record without the secretary. So you see here we've got the secretary info. So now I'm going to create another one for the secretary itself. So I'm going for the secretary record, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the form layout here again. Close out of this, discard changes. I'm going to go back into the driver person layout. This time I'm going to copy this. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back into the default person layout. I'm going to copy that one. Otherwise, I would have had to show the field or that section, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to hit copy form layout, and now I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to say layout rules. For this one, we've got contact type does not contain driver, and I'm going to also put in secretary. So you can see here that when we create a filter, we can use an or statement by just putting a comma in there. I'm going to hit refresh. Nothing's going to happen because I actually don't have a secretary record. So I'll just show you this real quick. I'm going to go to new person, and I'm going to create a secretary person. I'm going to pick contact type. I'm going to make them a secretary. I'm going to hit save, and we're going to see here that if I hit refresh, it's still not going to show that person, so that's good. That means that this person is not in this record type, the default record type. So I'm going to hit save and close on that, and I'm going to go into my new form layout that I created for the secretary. So I've got default person layout 1 again. I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to call it secretary person layout. And I'm going to click on published. I'm going to go to layout rules. And then now we see here contact type does not contain driver. That was what we had before for the default. So I'm going to change that to equals secretary. I'm going to hit refresh, and that's going to only show the secretary person. But now again, I have to go back into the sections, and now this time I'm going to just hide driver info because I don't really need to see the driver info. So I'm going to uncheck show. I'm going to hit save and close, and now that's going to, make the driver section disappear. And then I'm going to hit save and close. And now here we see the secretary person. They have driver info and secretary info. Once I hit save, now the driver section is going to disappear. So you can see that that worked exactly how it should, because I had to make sure that I went into the original default and said that, okay, this record should not appear for that. So basically that's a quick way to create different form layouts. So once you create those rules, all you have to do is then recreate the sections, and after that you should be good. So just keep in mind as a quick update, we've got these different layouts. I click on it if I want to see what records are going to exist for the criteria. It's an easy way to filter through there, so we don't have the secretary in here, so that's good. That means that's okay. I'm going to discard the changes to driver person layout. If I click on this, I'm still only going to see the driver in there. So if I go to layout rules, I see that only the driver person exists. And then if I go to secretary person layout, I'm going to see that only the secretary person exists, because that's dependent on the layout rule of contact type equals secretary. So there you go. Thank you again for watching the Lucid Switch Workbook CRM training tutorial video series. You can check us out at www.lucidswitch.com, and we're always happy to help you out with your workbook requirements. Thank you.